Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to CoolVision. In this video, we'll take a look at the largest city in Kazakhstan, Almaty. It is located right here, 1,000 kilometers away from Astana, the capital of the country. It's located in the mountainous area of southern Kazakhstan, near the border with Kyrgyzstan, in the foothills of Trans-Eli Alato. The location is gorgeous because the mountains can be seen from anywhere in the city. Why would you be interested in Almaty? Because it's a large city with a population of over 2.1 million people, and because it's surrounded by some amazing places. So let's begin. Almaty used to be the capital of the country for almost 70 years, from 1929 till 1997. But even today, it's still referred to as the southern capital because of its economic, social, and cultural impact. It's the business and cultural center of Kazakhstan, with a number of financial institutions and banks. Almaty is home to Halyk Bank, the largest bank in Central Asia, Kaspi Bank, Jusan Bank, and many others. And even Kazakhstan Stock Exchange is also based in Almaty. It's a crowded city with heavy traffic. For example, this is Al-Farabi Avenue, one of the busiest highways of the city. The main pedestrian streets are Penfilov and Arbat. These are popular walking areas with lots of sidewalk cafes, street artists, and much more. And in some places it feels like a resort town, with a good choice of restaurants and street musicians. And did I mention the fountains? There's a lot of fountains here. The center of the city is very walkable and bike-friendly. Over the last few years, a lot of bike paths have been constructed, and there's a number of bicycle and scooter sharing apps, which is very convenient.
Алмата нам нравится. Ну, в Шымкенте у нас нету таких велодорожек. Ну, только тротуар есть. В нем кататься сложно, как-то неудобно. Ну, спасибо, акиматы.
Хорошо. А вы здесь просто как турист?
Не, мы учимся поедем.
Студенты?
Да, на политехе.
Because the city is so hilly, there's a countless number of ditches along the roads to ensure easy water drainage. There's lots of outdoor fitness equipment. Well done, Almaty. The city has this college town vibe to it, and there's a number of colleges and universities, including Al-Farabi Kazakh National University, the Kazakh British Technical University, and many others. The symbol of the city is an apple. Almaty is translated from Kazakh as apple, so don't forget to visit the main market of the city, the Green Market, and try some local apples. The most famous variety is Almaty Aport. Unfortunately, in recent decades, Almaty has been losing its point of pride, apple orchards. Their number is dramatically declining due to aggressive residential development. About 70% of apple orchards has already disappeared. Lots of local residents are really upset about it. I'm not local, but I'm upset about it too.
We are in the apple orchard, and they have such big apples. Like this variety is called Aport. They're big. You know, almost half the size of my head, you know. Oh my God, they're enormous.
What about public transportation? Almaty has an extensive network of buses, trolley buses, and fixed-route buses. Also, it's the only city in Kazakhstan to have a subway, although it's just 11 stations in one line. But it's really new. It was opened in 2011. The city is served by Almaty International Airport, and in case you want to visit, they have direct flights to Dubai, Moscow, Frankfurt, Istanbul, and Seoul.
Подскажите, Амир, 3 вещи, которые вам нравятся в городе Алматы.
Климат, горы и инфраструктура.
Чем любите заниматься в городе?
Ну, работать, учиться.
А в свободное время?
В свободное время в горы ходить. Вот сейчас мы с другом позавтракали здесь неподалеку и собираемся в горы идти.
Пешие
прогуливаемся.
прогулки в горы, да? Или на чем-то?
Пешие прогулки на горы, да. И самые любимые, наверное, это вечером выходить и просто прогуливаться по улице, потому что ну, ветер приятный. Ну, Алмата от всех городов чем отличается здесь? И с деньгами, и без денег можно гулять. В Астане, например, такого не сделаешь. В Алмате всегда можно отдохнуть так как и студенту, и работающему человеку, и богатому, и бедному всем. А самое прекрасное в Алмате это люди, наверное. Все люди добрые.
Если один недостаток какой-нибудь назвать?
Цены на квартиры. И как и арендные, так и продажные. Хорошую квартиру снимать, ну, от 200 до 250. Это, ну, честно, вообще 300. Да, если с ремонтом, чтобы вода была, то есть, соответственно, трубы. И шумоизоляция соседей, и то смотря где там. Это лотерея, честно, квартира в Алмате. И много обманывают, очень много обманывают людей, да. У нас постоянно друзья и подружки особенно просят с ними вместе съездить или просто вместо них пойти посмотреть. Там бывает иногда за просмотр берут деньги, а по факту приходишь в квартиру.
If you ask the locals, what's the best place in the city? They're gonna surprise you by saying, the mountains. So, let's go to the mountains. Let's take a cable car to the wonderful city park, Koktabe.
We want to spend probably about an hour walking in the hills. It's going to be gorgeous views and one of the popular sites in the city.
And we'll be getting some great views of the city as we travel to a height of 1,130 meters above sea level, or 200 meters relative to the city. It's an ideal place to enjoy panoramic views of the city. There's also a small amusement park, 2 restaurants, and a small zoo. And if that wasn't enough for you, there's also a Beatles monument.
Somebody to love. A little help for my friends. That's right, buddy.
The TV tower is the tallest building in Almaty. Its height is almost 372 meters. Another popular place in the mountains is the legendary ice rink Medeo. It's the highest mountain sports complex in the world. The surface of the ice is 10.5 thousand square meters, or 2.6 acres. More than 170 world records have been set here by famous athletes. It's an absolutely gorgeous ice skating rink. The stadium is open to the public all year round. From here, you can take a number of hiking routes. Some 30 minutes of walking will take you to Gorelnik Thermal Springs. Look at these barrels. Imagine sitting in one of them with hot water in the winter. What a great experience it must be. I got this impression that the residents of Almaty love to stay fit and they get into all sorts of sports. This guy sure knows what he's doing. I was told he's a local champion. If you don't like to walk a lot, you can take a cable car and enjoy the views. This is such a picturesque area.
One of the coolest things about living in Almaty is the accessibility of the mountains. It takes you 20 minutes to get to the mountains by car, and then you can go hiking, and you can go skiing in the winter. You can take a cable car, and you can just go picnicking. You know, all your options are just limitless.
Only electric cars are allowed to go upstairs. So even taxi cabs are all electric.
You're only allowed to the top of the mountain if you have an electric car. Or you can hire an electric taxi like this one. So we took it, it was 4,000 tenge. Took about 10 minutes to get to the top. Or another option is to take the cable car.
Eventually you will reach the ski resort. It's called Shimbulak. It's the largest ski resort in Central Asia. It's a great combination. Mild climate with plenty of sunny days and the perfect amount of snow throughout the winter months. The ski season starts from late November and lasts till April. This is what Shimbulak Ski Resort looks like in the winter. On another day, we went to Big Almaty Lake. They say if you haven't been here, you haven't been to Almaty, so I had to go. The lake is located at an altitude of 2,500 meters above sea level. Its depth is 30 to 40 meters, and depending on weather conditions, it changes its color from pale green to dark turquoise.
The Big Almaty Lake is so hard to get to. You can't drive here because the road's been closed for 3 years. So the only way to get here is to hike for many hours, like 4 or 5 hours. It's so exhausting. But the bonus is there's not a lot of people here. See, it's only me and a handful of other people. And the rest is nature, you know. So if you want this relaxing experience, go for it. You won't regret it. Oh, let's get some sunshine.
I'm from
cool.
South Korea.
Are you here in Almaty on vacation?
Yeah, I'm the vacation.
What do you like about Almaty?
I think Almaty is the little bit high altitude city, so the view is very great. I think Almaty and Almaty, near the Almaty there is a Tanshan mountain, and there's so many beautiful places.
All right, back to the city.
At night is when Almaty comes to life. They say there's two Almatys, the day one and the night one. Lots of restaurants, nightclubs, lots of places to go to. So, very different city at night.
In the evening, Almaty becomes an incredibly lively city with so many sidewalk cafes and restaurants. I didn't expect that, and they stay busy every night, regardless of the day of the week. Like I said earlier, Almaty reminds you of a resort town sometimes. If you love gambling, I got good news for you. 60 kilometers away from Almaty, there's a town of Kapchigai where gambling is allowed. It seems like everyone in the city can speak and understand Russian. The language issue is a hot one in Kazakhstan. Some Kazakhs are upset that the Russian speakers do not even try to learn Kazakh. Today, Russians account for 25% of the population of the city. It's worth mentioning that de-Russification is on its way, meaning the Kazakh alphabet is being translated into Latin.
Қайырлы күн. Қазақ елінде негізі барша ұлттарға да негізі бәріне бірдей қарап, және осы қазақ жерінде жүрген әр адам қазақ тілін үйренсе екен дейді.
Переведите.
Каждый человек, кто живет на этой земле, на казахской земле, чтобы уважал казахский язык и как бы знал и разговаривал. Ну вот это, я думаю, будет как бы для нас почестью в будущем, и страна будет процветать.
Lots of Russians came here in 2022, avoiding mobilization and Putin's disastrous war in Ukraine. Lots of them are highly skilled professionals, further contributing to the local economy, but at the same time raising the rent prices, which understandably brought some mixed feelings among the locals. Compared to Astana, Almaty has a better climate. It's much greener. Large trees with lush crowns provide shade from the sun, so needed in the middle of the summer. Almaty is called a garden city for a reason. There's a number of parks to choose from. There's gorgeous botanical garden. This is what it looks like from above. First President's Park. Almaty Central Park. And Panfilov Park, one of the oldest parks in Almaty. This is where you find one of the symbols of the city, the Ascension Cathedral, also known as Zinkov Cathedral. It's one of the tallest wooden churches in the world. It was built at the beginning of the 20th century and survived the devastating earthquake of 1911. What are some of the sights of the city? A Bay Opera House. It's one of the leading opera houses in Kazakhstan. The Kazakh State Academic Theater. And the new Almaty Theater. This is where you can watch anything from ballet and theoretical performances to shows, exhibitions, and fashion events. Almaty Central Mosque. It's a magnificent gold-dome building. Its minarets rise against the backdrop of the mountain. What a stunning view! Republic Square or Independence Square. This place has been known for many protests, like the Zheltoksan in December of 1986 during the USSR days, when thousands of young people took to the streets after Gorbachev dismissed the Communist Party leader of Kazakhstan, who was an ethnic Kazakh, and appointed instead of him a total outsider. Like you would expect, the protests were suppressed and up to 200 people were killed. The January 2022 protests that started after a sharp increase in liquefied gas prices also took place on this square, and unfortunately were also brutally suppressed. Like in many countries in this part of the world, the sauna culture has been popular for centuries. You can visit a public banya or sauna and whip yourself with tree branches.
Так и хочется их купить.
Вот коробками забирают.
This is the largest bathhouse in all of Almaty.
Is Almaty expensive? Well, let's see. The hotel we were staying at was $50 a night, including breakfast. A one-way ticket on local public transportation is 17 cents. A meal for 2 people at an average restaurant is about $20 to $30, so not too bad. Now let's talk about the main reason people want to come to Almaty. Almaty is surrounded by amazing places, like Asi Plateau and the observatory. It's a high mountain valley, not the easiest place to get to, and the road to it is terrible, so you better have an off-road vehicle. But once you get there, it's truly breathtaking. Look at all these vast open spaces. It's a great place to unwind.
Смотрите, дуги не тяните, надо их...
Да, вот это давай. Папарацци.
Толик, расскажите, чем нравится это место?
Чистый воздух, уединение от города, суету все оставляешь там, связи нет, а ночью звезды, закачаешься.
Супер.
А если у кого iPhone еще с 10-го и выше, там можно пофоткать звезды, падающие многие звезды фотографируют.
Получается хорошо, да?
Да, хорошие кадры получаются.
Супер.
Вот так, и общение новое.
Угу. Вы с ночевой?
Да, вторая ночь сегодня будет.
А, даже вторая ночь у вас?
Да.
Хорошо. Там у вас целый бар я увидел, да?
Да.
Кстати, начали будете кайфовать, да? У вас кальянчик,
Да.
алкоголь, так все.
А вы сами из Алматы?
Да.
Часто сюда приезжаете?
Уже 4-ю неделю подряд.
Ну, мне кажется, это рай на земле, на самом деле. Это очень-очень красиво. Глаза просто отдыхают и вдохновляются.
Ты все самое красивое пропустил.
Lake Kupchigai. Yes, that same town where you find casinos. It has a great beach with cafes, hotels, and water attractions. We were there on a weekday in September, so it was empty. But I can imagine how crowded it might get on a hot summer day.
Just about an hour away from Almaty, I found myself on a beach, and it's called Kupchigai. We're a little bit off season because it's the 1st of September today. The weather is fantastic, and it's an artificial body of water, by the way. But this is a popular place for people of Almaty to come here and swim during the summer.
Great place for swimming or fishing.
Как это агрегат называется?
Это дельталет.
Вертолет.
У меня уже она начала масло хавать.
Вы давайте
И дым из трубы валить. Ну это хорошо пойдет по песку.
Charin Canyon. This canyon stretches for 50 kilometers along the Charin River. These red sedimentary rocks are about 12 million years old. I think it resembles the Grand Canyon in the US. It was super hot on that day, and luckily they have a shuttle that will take you to the river and back. This part of Kazakhstan has some incredible mountain lakes. One of them is Kayindy. Kayindy Lake was formed after an earthquake in 1911. This valley got filled with water, submerging the coniferous forest. Today its depth is 25 meters. Not far from it is the Kolsai Lakes. There's 3 of them. The first, or the lower lake, can be reached by car. You can walk along the lake, or you can rent a boat and explore the lake from the water. The second and the third lakes, you have to walk quite a bit to get to.
Nice view. I love it.
Many people come here to stay overnight and go camping. We were visiting in September, and it was the harvest season. You'll find lots of vegetables sold along the road.
So guys, who's getting ready for Halloween this year? It's the harvest season here in the south of Kazakhstan. Plenty of pumpkins.
Скажите, сколько тыквочек собрали в этом году?
Ой, здесь не сосчитать. Здесь не сосчитать, очень много.
1000.
Больше
больше, наверное. Это еще не все, это еще только половинка.
А что еще здесь выращивают? Чем знаменита вот эта местность?
У нас здесь все культуры есть. И кукуруза, соя, вот тыква, овощи, фрукты почти все есть. Клубника, абрикосы, вот эти.
Как тыквы здесь готовят?
Ну, в основном это на манты. Манты готовят. Пробовали такое блюдо?
Нет.
Это у нас национальное уйгурское блюдо.
А где можно будет попробовать?
Вот здесь по дороге есть кафе. Можете заказать там манты с тыквой.
It's September and it's the harvest season. Time to collect the harvest. What we got? We got watermelons, we got potatoes, we got pumpkins, we got apples, we got everything.
Oh, by the way, we did try mantu with pumpkin. This is what they look like. So delicious. The food options in the city are fantastic. There's a good choice of Korean restaurants. Well, because Stalin deported a lot of Koreans to Kazakhstan, and so many of them settled in Almaty. But in case you want to try local cuisine, I can recommend Sandik restaurant. The name means a treasure chest. On the weekends they have live music.
We're about to try some national Kazakh cuisine. And we're going to start with shubat. That is a famous dairy product. Actually comes from camel milk. Oh, I've learned to like it. Great. Of course, we got tea. And for appetizers, we got samsa. Those are small pies with meat and with some spicy sauce. That's great. But the best thing is coming, and the chef is going to bring it.
Я являюсь шеф-поваром этого ресторана.
Издревле казахи это назвали блюдо батыров. Почему? Когда они пошли в поход, они взяли с собой, чтобы было удобно, эти куски мяса, телятина, и не взяли с собой всякие посуды. Это было удобно.
Камень нагревается от 300 до 400 градусов. У нас имеются специальные печи, в которых мы нагреваем эти камни. Камни по свойству как вулканические, держат свою температуру в течение часа. Раньше нашим предкам было неудобно с собой таскать посуду, поэтому они жарили все на камнях. А нагревалось это все они нагревали все это на кострах, либо высоко в горах от нагревания, естественного нагревания солнца. Дополнительно к нему идут гарниры, молодой картофель и помидоры черри. Соус, имбирный соус, он придает блюду особенный вкус, дополняет его, раскрывает вкус мяса, овощей. И сам имбирный соус, он является антисептическим для здоровья. Еще один наш соус. Это соус из сезонных овощей. И вместо курта мы соли используем наш курт. Приятного аппетита. Приходите еще.
Здоровский. Спасибо.
Как классно! Масса.
Спасибо большое.
Although Almaty is a wonderful city, it's currently facing some challenges like air pollution. The city found itself in a rather difficult environmental situation due to its location in the foothill basin. Like Athens or Los Angeles, which have similar relief characteristics, Almaty suffers from severe air pollution. Motor vehicles are the main contributor to air pollution, accounting for 65% of total emissions. An obvious solution would be for the city to go green by switching to electric vehicles and electric public transportation. That's why the most expensive real estate is outside the city, in the foothills of the mountains. This is where you find some fancy houses with nice backyards and swimming pools. Like in most places in post-Soviet cities, they're guarded by huge fences. Privacy is everything. So the only way to see them is with a drone. Luckily, I had one with me. Almaty is located in an area of extensive geologic risk, subject to both earthquakes and mudslides. The city suffered from severe earthquakes in 1887 and 1911. So let's sum it up. I think Almaty is one of the best cities in this part of the world. The advantages are obvious. Good economy, the views, the mountains, lots of green areas, and a mild climate. And the downsides being the air pollution, heavy traffic, and high real estate prices. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it.
В любом месте, если как бы работать честно и как бы уважительно относиться, как в любом месте хорошо.